Yo, Bomber here, as in Vegabomber. Yeah, I'm here to let you know about the latest film that I've seen, and that movie would be Selma. So yeah, I saw this movie actually back in January. I know it's towards the end of February, and it's taken me a while to do this video, but I'm gonna have videos come out on every Wednesday, so be prepared for that. So anyway, about the movie Selma. So this movie is about 2 hours and 7 minutes long. It was directed by Ava DuVernay. This was her first big silver screen film, and what a film to do. Martin Luther King Jr., the first time a Martin Luther King Jr. film has made it to the big screen. It's been on TV, and I think there's been some Showtime movies, maybe even HBO movies, but this is it, big time. So this movie takes place in 1965 in Selma, and this is where Martin Luther King Jr. was going to do, and along with Snick and a few others, were about to get together and do a march to protest for voters' rights. African Americans still didn't have voters' rights, even though the Constitution doesn't say they can't have it, but they weren't experiencing voters' rights. Now, this was not many months after the 1964 Act that desegregated America with the Civil Rights Act. And so it catches LBJ and Martin Luther King Jr. at a time where, can we do this right now? Can we do this right now after we just did this other big landmark act with the Civil Rights Act in 64? And it created a lot of controversy in the country. Are we ready to do this now in 65? Martin Luther King Jr. basically says, yes, let's do this. LBJ is not sure. He wants to sign the bill, but he's still also looking at all the collateral damage that's happened since. So anyway, the props about this film, the parts of this film I thought were excellent, was for sure the acting of David Oyelowo. He's a British Nigerian actor who I thought got that Atlantean South accent down. He sounded like Martin Luther King Jr. as much as anyone could sound like him. I thought he did a great job with that. Not only that, I thought that the pacing of the story was pretty good. They covered a lot of big significant events that happened right around that time. I also would say that the rest of the cast was good. I thought that Tim Roth, who you might remember was the Abomination in Hulk, he played George Wallace, and Tom Wilkin played LBJ, and they all were pretty convincing, I think, in their roles, considering that they're not Americans. Those guys are from overseas, and I thought they got the American accent down, and they were able to carry it through. In fact, most of this cast, not too many Americans in there, except for maybe Oprah Winfrey and Common were a few who stood out. Martin Luther King Jr.'s wife was played by Carmen Eyogo. I hope I said that right. And she did a great job playing Coretta Scott King. And the movie doesn't back away from their relationship. What's great also about this movie in terms of props is it didn't get away from some of his not so famous sides. This movie didn't make him out like he's some super iconic Jesus figure who never did anything wrong. No, he actually is shown very much like a human, and the very human that he was. There's also a quick glimpse of Malcolm X in this film too. I thought that was neat how they were able to work that in and show that as well. So to me, this film actually does really well. Now, were there any kind of eye rolls in this film? You know, I really didn't have any. I guess my biggest eye roll are the people that came out and all of a sudden started saying that LBJ was not portrayed the way they remember him. Well, the last I checked, the movie wasn't about LBJ. The movie was about MLK Jr. Okay, and I think so what's the controversy? The controversy is some people are saying that he was more in line with working with King on the bill, and I think that's true. I think he wanted to sign it, but I also think that Martin Luther King Jr. had a timeline that he was working on that wasn't necessarily the president's, and I think that's where the rub was. So there are some people, the controversy is that they were saying that's not LBJ, and of course the LBJ fanboys, if you will have a problem with it. But anyone else looking at the film, they say it in the film that, hey, this was not long after we just signed the 1964 Civil Rights Act, and now we're about to do something else that's also going to be very polarizing. So it didn't say that LBJ didn't want to do it or that he was completely against it. He was talking about the timing of it. That's what I got from it. So Anyways, anyone who's worried about that, you don't have to worry about that. You can go see this film. It will be a good film. It's pretty historical. Some of the people that are covered in this film are still alive today, so they can be asked. You can find the interviews on them and find out about that as well. But I thought the tension was good. I think it did a good job of not over dramatizing it and at the same time not under dramatizing it so as not to offend people too. Because when you talk about history, when you talk about race in America, people just straight up get offended. You know, Ferguson, anyone? Eric Garner, anyone? So anyways, this film, I would say that Ava DuVernay actually did a really good job, and I'm looking to see more of her films that she'll come out with. So in Vegabomber Land, we only have two ratings. Either a movie was good enough for you to see or it wasn't. We don't play the middle ground. So if a movie was good, in Vegabomber Land, we say that film was blowing up. You know, like a balloon. Once a balloon has air in it, it's a toy, now it's fun, right? Or if a movie's really not worth your $12, maybe you should wait, red box it if you have to see it at all. We say that that movie needs to get blown up, as in detonated. Just like that. And I would say that Selma, even though it kind of got snubbed, even though David Oyelowo got snubbed for being one of the best actors in a film for 2014, even though it came out January 9 on wide release, I would say that this film is blowing up. I think David Oyelowo did an incredible job of playing Martin Luther King Jr. If you remember him, he was in Red Tails. He played Lightning in Red Tails. He was in the Lincoln film. He was in Lee Daniels' The Butler. He played the son of Forrest Whitaker. He also was in Interstellar, right? And he was in Jack Reacher. And I think if you keep watching David Oyelowo, you'll see this guy's grown. He's getting better and better. Anyway, that's the Bomber, and I'm letting you know that I'm out. Well, wait. Forgot to say. Yeah, so I've got some new subscribers that are coming on board. Hey, I love all you guys. Keep coming. Keep telling your friends. So I think, if I remember correctly, there's Brett and his wife Cheryl have subscribed on. Good to see you. Cameron Stewart has signed on. Good to see you as well. And hey, tell your friends. The more people that sign up, the more I'll try to give you guys a shout out, and the more I'll try to bring you guys good content. Okay, now, I'm Vegabomber, and I'm out. You! Obligatory shirt grab. Bah!